Aw, animals. Heroic dog saves owner's life. 2017 started out horribly for one Michigan man who spent New Year's Day injured and helpless in the snow. Luckily, it was man's best friend to the rescue. At 10:30 p.m. on December 31st, Bob ran out to get another log for his fire when he slipped and fell on the ice, breaking his neck. Unable to move, he screamed for help, but with the nearest neighbor a quarter-mile away, it was his golden retriever Kelsey that ran to his side. The temperature dipped to freezing, but Kelsey stayed by Bob, barking for help and licking his face and hands to keep him warm. The 64-year-old lost consciousness, but Kelsey's howling eventually got the attention of a neighbor, who finally discovered Bob 20 hours later. He was rushed to the hospital, where a doctor performed emergency surgery to save him. Now recovering nicely, Bob claims he owes his life to two heroes, his dog and his doctor. Here are 5 more stories about animal heroes.
Pitbull saves boy from deadly swarm of bees. A heroic pitbull rescued an 8-year-old Oregon City boy from a swarm of bees after she dragged him to safety by the leg of his pants. Jesse Cole Shaver was playing with his older sister and some friends near a creek down an embankment behind their apartment complex when one of the kids stepped on a rotten log and unleashed a swarm of bees. Jesse was stuck at the bottom of the hill and stung 24 times as the other kids were able to run to safety. That's when Hades, their pit bull, came to the rescue and raced down the embankment and grabbed Jesse by his pant leg and hauled him up the hill. Hades saw me and came, and she dragged me up to the grass and stopped and let me crawl on her back and took me to my mom, Jesse said. Jesse's older sister, Jasmine Jones, was stung 5 times and had to use an EpiPen because she's allergic to bees. Both kids were taken to the hospital for treatment and were released a few hours later.
Man kills bear in kitchen after family dog saves the day. The Travers family has a new hero after their little dog Sid saved the family from becoming a midnight snack for a hungry grizzly bear. The family was sleeping on Sunday night when Sid started barking like crazy at around 4:30 a.m. So Nikki Travers got up to see what it was. She screamed and ran back in the room and told her husband Mark they had a bear in the house. With his 13-year-old son also sleeping in the house, Travers got his rifle out and loaded it. The bear was eating cat food from a cupboard when Travers entered the kitchen and turned on the light. The bear then moved towards Mark. I shot at it, and it took another step towards me. So I shot it again, and it hit the floor. And so I shot it one more time, and then it stopped moving, Travers said. As for Sid, he's getting a special dinner. He'll definitely be eating with the family tonight, Travers said.
Sometimes animals exhibit more humanity than people do. Case in point, a dog named Pui rescued a newborn baby after finding her at a dump site in Tha Ra, Thailand. Pui was sniffing around the local dump site when he came across an interesting white plastic bag. He decided to bring the bag back to his master's home, where he put it down and began barking loudly for attention. Pui's owner's niece came downstairs to see what he was barking about. She was shocked to find an infant baby inside the bag and called out to her mother for help. The baby girl was rushed to the hospital, where doctors weighed her at 2.2 kilograms, saying she was born prematurely. Pui received a leather collar and medal from the local Red Cross chapter for his heroic deed.
Hero dog saves family from road-raged gunmen. An Atlanta family is mourning the loss of their pet German Shepherd after it was killed protecting the family from gunfire Friday afternoon. At least 3 kids were in the family's Chevy Suburban when another driver got a bad case of road rage. The raging driver followed the family into a parking lot of the strip mall on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. They just rolled right up, one of the victims told WXIA. They pulled out a gun and started clapping. Living up to the man's best friend title, the dog took a bullet while protecting the family. Police are still looking for the gunman who drove off in a blue-gray Ford Taurus. When the family opened the door, the fatally wounded protective pooch ran off. He was caught on this surveillance footage hobbling around to the back side of the strip mall, but later succumbed to his injuries.
Dog recruits policeman to help save his doggy damsel in distress. In a real-life Lassie story, a dog in Massachusetts helped save another dog from an icy prison. Jock, a Scottish Terrier, was hanging out with his lady friend Annabelle when their world was turned upside down. Police has shown up in their home to take the dog's owner to the hospital for an undisclosed medical emergency. Unable to comprehend why their owner was being taken away, the dogs took off into the woods. But the road was slippery, and Annabelle wasn't as light or quick on her feet. Tumbling 30 feet down an icy hill, she suddenly found herself at the bottom, trapped. Acting fast, Jock ran out to the nearest road. As the police vehicle approached, the terrier flagged down the officer, signaling for help. Somehow, Jock was able to get through to the policeman and led him back to where Annabelle was imprisoned. Orange, Massachusetts police officer Chris Blaseglia called in the emergency, and firefighter James Hopkins responded. Hopkins utilized a ground ladder and freed Annabelle from her entanglement. The police department shared the courageous dog story on Facebook following the incident, posting, "Apparently, any dog in the right circumstance can turn into Lassie." Did Lassie ever brave the snow to save her best friend? If not, she's got nothing on Jock.